welcome to a little self-care, mobility, stretchy kind of routine that I'm going to do either as a standalone, maybe I'll use it as a warm-up for a pole practice. Honestly, this is a recovery day. I should probably take a break from poles, so I'm just going to see how my body feels after this. But yeah, this is you're gonna need some bands, some massage balls, myofascial balls. I've got a big band like this, and I've got a booty band like this. I have a couple of yoga blocks, and I have 2 foam rollers. You only need 1, but I like to give myself options. This one is from Rolga. It's got ridges on it, so sometimes the way that it's shaped will just get into my muscles in a way that this one can't. So we're going to start out with some banded cat-cows. These are some of my favorite thing lately. So I've got my big band, and you could also use a Pilates band that is not necessarily joined on the end like this, but it's a big Pilates stretchy band. So I'm going to take the band around my back, bring it up underneath my armpits so it's right up high in my back. And then you might have to adjust it a little bit in your hands. You want to make sure it's comfortable. Hooking it under the thumbs won't work, so you definitely need it under the palms. And then come into a tabletop position with your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Try to lay ground into your hands as best as you can. Let me adjust that a little bit. Lower on the hand definitely feels better. And then exhale to a cat pose. Linger there. Take your time. And then on your inhale, tuck your toes under for cow, look up, shoulders back. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. We're gonna do it 7 more times. Your breath. Last one. And then let's meet in a neutral spine and mindfully sit back and bring the torso up. Set the band to the side. Phew. Let's get the knees apart. Flip the palms forward. Fingers down, and then bring your hands to the mat for a wrist stretch. You can bend your elbows for a little bit more. A few more breaths. And switch. So show your manicure, fingers point down. Bring the back of the wrist to the floor. Be gentle, it might be sensitive. And release, roll the wrists out. Take the hands up. Roll the wrists in the other direction as you bring the hands down. Then interlace the fingers behind the back, bring the legs together. Open up the chest. Gaze forward, up, or you can look down. It might feel nice around your neck. One more. And release. Shift forward. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs. Stretch the spine. One more. And then walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Hang heavy, grab your elbows. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And sway side to side. Release. Half lift, inhale, stretch the spine. Fold as you exhale. Brace the belly, roll up all the way to standing. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Fold as you exhale. All the way up, inhale. Reach up. Cactus arms, exhale. Inhale, reach. Forward fold, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. All the way up, inhale. Cactus arms, exhale. Reach up, inhale. This time, release your arms down by your sides. And then let's grab the myofascial balls and massage the foot out. So hands on the hips. Massage the arch of your foot, the inside, the outside, the middle. And then also try to get the ball of your foot, a little bit of your toes, in the inner and the outer in the middle. And also try to get your heel. And then we'll switch. It's almost popping in there. Again, try to get the top of your foot, the ball, the toes a little bit. Try to get the heel. All right, and then we'll set that aside. Take one of your foam rollers to the wall, and I'm going to use this to stretch my calf. So I bring the ball of my foot up to the foam roller, and then if you have like a ridge or something you grab onto, it helps a little bit better. You just bring your body weight forward, stretch your calf. Or if you don't have a foam roller, you can step that foot back and ground the heel towards the floor to stretch your calf. Try to make sure that the weight is balanced on the sides of your feet, both inner and outer, that you're not leaning to one or the other. One more breath. And then switch sides. Couple more breaths. And release. And then we'll come down to a seat. Place the foam roller underneath your calves. Lean back on your hands. And then bend and straighten your legs. You can also roll your legs in and out. And then move to a slightly different spot. You might move a little higher or a little bit lower to just access a slightly different area of your calves. Rocking is a very soothing motion for the body. You can roll the thighs in and out, either together or separately. Last time, move them to a slightly different area. Make sure it feels nice and fleshy versus bony. A few more moments. And then we'll slide that roller up into the hamstrings. Now you can do one leg or two legs at the same pace, depending on how big your foam roller is and how nimble you are. You can turn your thighs in or out. Place one ankle on top of the other. You can also do this for your calves, but I find it gets kind of tricky. And make sure to get both sides. You're not going to be here much longer. Also just sit and roll your thighs side to side. That feels nice too. All right, now I'm going to switch to my other foam roller as we come up into the booty. And then just get into the butt. You might lean to one side a little bit. You might cross an ankle on top and lean to that side. Higher, try lower. Try not to rush. You get more out of it when you go slow. And then switch sides. Again, go slower, go high, go low. Use this as an exploration. When you rush, you miss stuff. Just a few more moments. All right, and then we'll return the booty to the floor. Take the foam roller to the middle back, but more towards the shoulder blades, like the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Support your head, lift your hips, and then roll your body slow on your foam roller. Up towards your head with that roller. You might even go into your neck if it feels okay. I find that and you gotta have some quadricep flexibility and ankle flexibility for this, but if you can keep your feet where they are and come all the way to your neck, you can bring your knees forward and kind of wiggle the pelvis a little bit and explore that stretch. Now you might keep rolling forward and back, or you might find a spot that needs more attention, which is what I'm doing. My quads are really tight lately. My neck is really tight lately. One more breath. Slowly start moving your body back so the roller starts to move towards your middle back. All right, I'm gonna go up and down a couple more times just to see if I can get that back to pop. There we go, nice. All right, now I'm gonna switch back to my other foam roller because the ridges on this one I don't think work quite as well for this next exercise. I'm gonna flip around so I think you'll be able to see better. Now normally I would have like a kettlebell back there to hang on to as an anchor for my arms, but I don't have one here, and sometimes I use the edge of my pole thing, but I also just want you to be able to see. But you do need an anchor for your arms. You can anchor your fingertips to the floor, but if you have really tight shoulders, you won't be able to get your hands to the floor. So you might have to like hang on to the edge of a bed or a couch or a chair or something like that. So I'm laying back with the foam roller at the bottom edges of my shoulder blades. So it's in my upper back, but it's at the bottom part of it. Then I'm gonna let my head come all the way back, and if that doesn't feel good for you, you might want to put a block underneath it like so. My neck feels okay, so I'm gonna let my head drop all the way back. And then if it were a kettlebell, I would be holding the bars from the side here, but I'm gonna use the block in place of that. So if you don't have an anchor on your arms, you might not get as good a stretch in your shoulders, and I find that the roller tends to move around a lot as well. So I'll lift the hips up, and then lower the hips down. Lift them up, lower them down. So this is unlocking the upper back, thoracic spine. Now remember, we're in the bottom portion of the thoracic spine, or we're not really, we're kind of in the middle portion, but for our purposes, we're going to be going bottom, middle, top. So we're going to be visiting 3 different areas. Right now, we're in the bottom area, so bottom of the shoulder blades. Set the hips down. And then slide your kettlebell or your block back slightly. You might want to use your hands here to support your head. Lift your head up and then scoot down just like an inch. And then lean back again. So now we're in the middle portion of that area that we're working, the middle portion of the shoulder blades. This is where it usually starts getting more intense. And if you're holding a block and you feel kind of tight in your shoulders, you can always make that a little bigger. You could flip it so it's not so narrow. Try to anchor that to the floor though. Then lift the hips up and down 10 times. Oh boy. Last one. Then the booty comes down. We're going to slide our kettlebell or our block back just a little bit. And then again, you might want to use the hands to support the head here to lift your head up. Whoo boy. And then scoot down 1 more inch. So now we're in the uppermost part of the upper back. Head drops back. Hands grab your kettlebell or your block, anchoring it to the floor. Or the fingertips if you don't have anything. And then lift and lower the hips. Oh boy. I feel like it feels really intense at first, but then about halfway through, it starts to let go and feel really good. Let's do one more. And relax. From here, you can take your arms out to the sides to get more into your pecs. You might adjust the position of the foam roller a little bit. Couple more breaths. And again, you might want to use your hands here to help you lift your head up. And then we're going to roll all the way down into the neck with that foam roller. Make sure you scoot down far enough to where your butt's relaxed, your head is relaxed. And then turn your head side to side to massage the neck. Turn your head to one side, nod your head yes. You can even roll all the way over onto that left side in a fetal position. Kind of get a better position for your neck to roll on this thing a little bit more. Kind of feels nice just to lay there too. And then we'll switch sides. So you can start on your back. Turn your head to the right. Oh boy, nod your head. Oh God, there's a huge knot there. You can stay here, or you're gonna roll over onto your right side in fetal position so you can get a little bit more of your neck onto the roller. Oh God, and move it around. Holy shit. One more breath. Now, if you haven't already, roll over onto one side and push yourself up to a seat. Oh my goodness. All right, then we will come into a seat on the heels. I'm going to take my knees apart a little bit for child's pose with the roller. Hands on the roller, I'm going to point my thumbs up. I'm going to start to come forward. Oh God, that feels so good. Oh. So child's pose, you can stay here. You can let your head hang all the way through your arms if it feels okay, or just let your head rest on the roller. If it feels good for you, lift your head up, look forward, and then start to move your hips forward. So the roller starts moving up your arms, and it starts to look more like a puppy pose. You might feel a little stretch in your belly, in your chest. Make sure that you don't go so far that you can't pull yourself back. So we'll start to come back. Take it nice and slow. Roll it all the way back up to seated. We'll do it a few more times. You might have to move your roller a little bit or kind of play with your own individual proportions a bit. Take your sweet time. Feel those muscles elongating, some space being created in the back and spine, in the shoulders. You can slowly start moving forward. Bring it back. Slowly rolling all the way up. Let's do that 2 more times. Then let's bring it up. All right. Now, on your side, I'm on my left hip, my left elbow. I'm going to support my head, and I've got the foam roller under the side of my rib cage. Not too low, not too high. I can kind of cut my armpit here, and then the foam roller is below that. But I also don't want it like too close to my waist and like poking into the floating ribs. So it's just under the armpit. The armpit is free though. And then I'm gonna move my body forward and back a little bit. Not rolling up and down on the roller, but just going sideways on it. So as I go back, it gets into the lats more. As I go through the middle, it's the serratus anterior. And then as I go forward, it's into the pectoralis muscles. let's switch sides. Remember not to rush or you don't get as much out of it. A few more moments. Alright, and then let's bring it on up. Now, I didn't mention this at the beginning, but a big exercise ball or therapy ball is a big part of my recovery. So if you have one, grab one. If not, you can, I'll try to offer some yoga poses in place of this. So in place of the ball here, you would be doing a gate pose, which looks like a side plank with your knee down and your foot down and reaching all the way over for a side stretch. Otherwise, let's make it more passive on the ball. So I'm in a kneeling position. I pull the ball right up to my hip, extend the outside leg out, and then lean over onto the ball. It's going to take some core, some balance, and then reach all the way over. And then just chill here for like a minute or two. I let my head relax. And you kind of like turn your belly more up or turn your belly more down, kind of adjusting, using the ball to adjust, explore into these different dimensions of the stretch. Deep breaths. Couple more. And then to come out of that, I take my top arm up, rotate my wrist a couple of times. And then bring my head up. I'm going to use my hand on the ball, and I tuck my outside leg in and kind of sit back a little bit so it's not so stressful on the low back, and just very slowly come out of it, very mindful. Now, proportionally, if your ball is like humongous compared to you, you're going to have a harder time with this, so just keep that in mind. Your ball needs to be a little bit more on the petite side, especially if you are on the petite side. So let's try the other side. So again, I've got my ball right up against my hip. Outside leg goes out. Lean onto it. You're going to have to use your core to help balance. And then top arm all the way up and over. Let the head relax. You can kind of move on the ball a little bit to expose more of your belly or your back to the ceiling. Get different angles. I started my stretch out with more belly up, and then about halfway through I switched to belly down. It's very intuitive. You just kind of go where the sensation leads you. So it's about halfway now. Deep breaths. One more. And then to come out, I'm reaching my top arm up and rolling my wrist out. Then I bring that hand to the ball and tuck my other knee in and kind of sit and roll back a little bit just to be nice and easy on my low back as I come out of this. Oh. You could alternately come out of that by flipping your belly down if that suits you better. Feels nice, spacious. Okay, now let's come belly down onto the ball. So this is one of my favorite ways to stretch the back. So I'm kneeling, I bring the ball right up against me, lengthen the torso out and down, and then just let my arms kind of hug around the ball loosely. If you don't want to put your chin on the ball, you could use your shirt or towel or something to keep your face from touching it, but you want your head to relax. Take a couple deep breaths there. And then keeping a hold of my elbows, kind of holding my arms, start to sit the booty back. Actually come forward. I'm gonna wrap my arms around the ball a little bit more securely, kind of grab onto my wrists, and then lean back. So the ball is sitting on my lap a little bit. And then I just kind of use these little bouncing motions to send little waves of relaxation through my back. Sway a little bit from right to left. And the ball could be on the floor, possibly. Mine is kind of slid off my legs onto the floor at this point. Again, it's ideal if you can relax your head. Take some deeper breaths. One more. And then let's shift forward. Let's the ball to push myself up off of that. So we've done side, side. We stretch the back. Now we're going to stretch the front. So again, you need some core to be able to balance on this. You might want to make sure that you have some space to take your arms out to the sides, perhaps. I start seated on the ball and then roll. I'm using my hands for support. I roll my body forward. My back is on the ball. Head relaxes back. Arms go out to the side somewhere. Feels so good. And then if you move your body back a little bit, you'll find like a different sort of traction. If you move your body forward, you might feel it in your shoulders more, whereas if you move your body back, you might feel it in your hip flexors more, in your belly. I usually try to hit it all. Kind of start in the back, let the shoulders open a bit. And then I move back So it's more focused in the hips. My arms have to slide back a little bit, and then I wiggle my feet forward so I create this starfish shape. And if it feels too intense on your low back, then keep at least one of your knees bent, maybe both of your knees bent. Having both legs straight can be a little stressful for the low back, so just honor that. Take a few more moments. And also the squishiness of your ball. That's gonna play a big part in what this feels like in your body. So if you haven't used your ball in a while, it might need some inflation. All right, then I'm gonna pull into the feet, slide my body forward a little bit, focus more on the chest. So you can take the arms more to the sides. That feels nice. Into the pec major. Up. Explore those different dimensions and see where you need it most. One more breath. Then to come out of that, I'm going to slide my body forward a little bit so my buttstock is coming down to the floor. Use your hands on the floor or the ball under your thighs for support. So I'm just letting my spine kind of reintegrate. Feel a little bit more normal. And then I'm going to start to slide myself back, but keep my head lifted. So now it requires a little bit more from the abs here. Maybe move your feet back as you use your abs to sit up and slide the ball underneath you, returning to that seated position. Do little pelvic tilts here on the ball. So I'm going to do like little cat-cows on the low back and hips. And then do a circle. And change directions with that circle. Slide your hands forward and fold. You can have your legs more bent or more straight. I'm straightening mine right now. It feels really nice. One more breath. And then start to shift forward again. Walk the hands up onto the thighs. Lift your torso up. All right, we can ditch this big exercise ball. We've done a lot on the spine. Okay, so let's do some shoulders. Got my big band again. I'm gonna hold it like this. Take it up and over. I want you to think about like not just letting the band take control of your arms, but keeping your arms straight and taking them back. So if you didn't have the band, you would be reaching your arms up, taking them back as far as they go without arching your back, closing it, taking them back, 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 and then turning them out. Now, as you go back, you're taking these arms behind you, like somebody's pulling your arms behind you. I want you to feel that when you do this with your band also. So again, inhale, the arms go up, try not to arch your back. As I take my arms back, I'm thinking about bringing my hands closer together, like somebody's pulling my arms closer together. And then up and over. So keep going. This should not hurt. It might feel a little weird, maybe a little painful at first if you've never done it before, but like you shouldn't have to like really pull hard on the band, but also not slacken the band either. You want to keep a constant amount of just a little bit of tension on the band, keeping it straight. Like a noodle that's not cooked versus one that has been cooked. Do it a couple more times. It gets easier with practice. One more. And then shake it out. Now I've got the band hooked in my thumbs. If you're using a Pilates band, you'll just be holding it normal. Try to keep your wrist down, your palms down, your wrists straight. Bring it chest level as you take it back behind you. You're not trying to take your arms super far back, you're just trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together. That's the focus. I'm just letting my arms come not all the way forward. They're out to the sides, just a little tension on the band and then really pull it back. I mean, the band is about chest level. For me, that's about nipple level, but somebody once told me that everybody's nipples are not in the same place. And release. Shake it out. All right. Grab the band. I've got a single loop versus a double. Palms up, like I'm holding a tray here. My hands are shoulder width distance. I'm just pulling it apart. My forearms are parallel to the floor. So I've got 90-degree angles in my arms. I'm doing external rotation of the shoulder. This is an important stabilizer muscle called the infraspinatus. Good, and release. Oh my goodness, shake it out. All right, I'm going to take my booty band around my thighs. So we're just kind of firing these muscles up a little bit, and then we're going to get them stretched real good here in a little bit. And then you can grab onto something if you need it for balance. Squat down a little bit. Shift your weight into your left foot, pick your right foot up, and pulse that leg out to the side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch sides. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now have a seat and slide the band down around your feet. So we just fired up the glute medius, which is the side booty. And then band around the feet. Have the hands on the floor for a little bit of support. Just make sure that you don't get all tense in your neck and shoulders. And then pull the band apart, pull the band apart, pull the band apart. This is for your hip flexors. And your abs. For 3, 2, 1. together, the knees apart. Butterfly. Oh my goodness. Sit up tall. Let's flutter those knees up and down. I got a little tension in my hips that is feeling kind of funky. I'm going to slide the feet further away because I'm feeling a strange little pinch in my right hip. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold over the legs. Oh my gosh.
We're going to stay here for a while because it feels really good. Deepen the breath. One more. And then let's roll up through the spine.
Shoulders back and down. Take your right leg to the top corner of your mat, or right foot to the top corner. Pull your left foot into your groin for seated forehead to knee. Inhale for length, and then exhale, fold over that leg. And then bring your torso up just a little bit for a side stretch. You can take that left hand up and then all the way overhead. I'm going to use my left hand to support my head. Two more. And then let's bring it back up. Take your right leg forward. Cross your left foot over the knee for a seated spinal twist. Keep your right foot flexed, sit up tall. Use your right arm to hook the leg. Grab that wrist, sit up straight. Inhale, hug the leg into you. Exhale, gaze over your left shoulder. One more. And release. Switch sides. Now your left foot goes to the top left corner of the mat. Right foot comes in for seated forehead to knee. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold over that straight leg. One more. And then let's bring the torso up a little bit for a side stretch. Right arm goes up, and then all the way over. Again, I'm going to use this right hand to support my head. Deep conscious breaths. Then on the inhale, rise back up. For that seated spinal twist, your left foot goes forward. Your right foot crosses over the knee. Left arm scoops up the leg. Grab the wrist. Pull the leg into you, sit up tall. And then look over your back shoulder. Oh my gosh. Couple more. And release. All right, now we're going to make our way to a seat on our heels. Knees together, feet apart. Sitting between the heels for a hero's pose or reclined hero's pose. You can make this more comfortable for yourself by using a foam roller, blocks, pillows. You see how this feels. Like I said, my quads are really tight lately. So I've set a block up here behind me for my back. I think I'm going to make it a little higher because I feel tight. And then just try to land it between my shoulder blades on the lower part. Oh. And then support the head with the other block. Just breathe here. If you feel tight in your low back, you might need to tuck your pelvis or make your prop higher, or just come up higher. If you keep your arms close to your body with a prop underneath you, it'll stretch your pec minor, your chest muscle. It's a little bit harder to get to. A few more breaths. One more. And then slowly, mindfully, make your way up off of that. Oh. into a downward dog. Oh, excuse me, I just gotta put my music back on. Alright, so we're in down dog. Pedaling it out. And then we'll bring the right shin forward for half pigeon. Slide the left leg back. Lately I'm a fan of putting something underneath my chest. And also threading my left arm underneath. And then resting my head somewhere else. I like to turn my head in the opposite direction of the arm if possible. One more breath. And then let's come back up. Bend the back knee. Reach the left hand back and grab it. Kick the foot away for a shoulder stretch. And pull the foot in for a quad stretch. And then release, downward dog. Half pigeon other side. Left shin forward. Right leg back. Hips low. Again, something under the chest is nice. Or torso. Right arm is going to be the one that threads if you're taking that option. I like to turn my head in the opposite direction of that arm. Couple more breaths. And then let's bring it back up. Bend the back knee. Right hand reaches back, grabs the foot. Kick the foot back for a stretch in the shoulder. then pull the foot in for a stretch in the quad. One more breath. Release. Downward dog. Deep breaths. And then come down to the knees. Cross your right knee behind your left knee. Have a seat on your butt for Gobukasana. Try to get your feet equidistant from your hips. Seat bones grounded either on the floor or a block. And then take your right arm up. Bend that arm. And then left arm goes out, turn it in. Sweep behind your back so you can get your fingers to touch. You can use a strap or a belt if you can't reach. And then we'll sit here for about a minute and breathe. Make sure your head is not getting pushed forward. You've got to push it back a little bit. Just to keep it in line with the rest of your spine. One more. And then keep your right arm where it is, but release your left hand out to the side. And then let's take a side stretch. Bend into that left elbow, look up towards the ceiling. Oh. Keep your left shoulder down away from your ear. And back to the center. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back, and we're going to bring them over to the right waist. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit just to make sure I'm in frame. So interlacing the fingers when they go over towards the right waist. Sit up straight. Left shoulder down, right elbow in, and then tip your head over to the right. Oh, get a neck stretch. And release. Take a moment. And then let's bring the belly button forward, coming into that hip stretch a little deeper. Fingertips come forward, but keep a flat back. Switch sides. You can turn your body around if you know that transition. I like to go into it from the tabletop because I think the deepest setup. Shifting forward, uncrossing the legs. And then other side, the left leg behind the right, feet apart, booty back. Try to get your booty to the floor or block. You can modify this with crisscross legs instead if this is too much. Try to get your feet equidistant from your hips. can see bones rooted. Oh my God. So intense. Left arm up, inhale. Exhale, bend that elbow. Right arm goes out to the side, turn the arm in. Take it around behind your back. Let's see if we can get those fingers to touch. If not, you can use a strap or a belt. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine, so push your head back slightly. Recommit to your breath. One more breath. And then keep the left arm where it is, but release your right arm. Fingertips walk out to the side for a side stretch. We look up at the ceiling as we bend that right arm. The elbow does not have to touch the floor, but keep your right shoulder out of your ear. Look up at the ceiling. Lengthen into the side of the torso. Deep breath. And then let's bring it up top. Bring the belly button forward with a flat back. One more breath. And release. Let's take those legs forward, shake them out. Oh my goodness, hi. Lean back. Wobble, wobble. All right, I could literally go on for this for at least probably another hour, but I'm gonna wrap it up with one final thing. So I've had a lot of tension in my traps lately, so I'm gonna take these myofascial balls, pop them in there. With a foam roller or a block underneath the hips, we'll bring more downward force onto those and get deeper pressure. So I'm taking my myofascial balls out of their little sack that keeps them together. This part that you can pinch here, this muscle here that usually has all these knots here, connects the neck to the shoulder, that's where you're gonna wedge that ball under, right there, just at that bit you can pinch. So I'm gonna start on my back, lift the hips up, slide the block or the roller underneath you, and then lift my back up a little bit so I can pop those babies into the upper traps. And then from there, if you're using a roller, you can do kind of just a tiny little wiggle. It's up and down motion. Or you can stay still, reach your arms up, back, around, explore, look for those tight spots. All right, well, that is essentially it. I'm gonna leave you there. You can, all right, well, that's about it. That's essentially it. I'm gonna leave you there. You can keep rolling out. Set a timer, take a nice meditation. I'm gonna turn my heater on and continue to roll and stretch. This video is already so long, so I hope you enjoyed it. and have yourself a lovely day.